Hi everyone, my name is Donna. I'm South African and an aspiring author. And yes, my baubles are still up. I think they're really pretty. I will eventually take them down, but for now, they're just there. Today we're going to be talking about the things that I've learned after writing my first draft. The first thing that I learned is that sometimes you just need to let go. And when I say this, I mean, not to be perfectionistic, and it's very difficult to not edit as you go, and it's something that I've had to keep telling myself. I think I've mentioned it on this channel before, is that I have to keep telling myself to complete what I'm doing and then perfect it, because if you're trying to perfect as you go, you'll just never reach the end, because it just doesn't end. If you just keep editing and editing and editing, and then you just won't make any actual progress. So yes, complete then perfect, and sometimes you just need to shut your logical brain down for a little bit and just keep writing and keep being creative. The second thing, and it follows on from the previous one, is that writing sprints for me in this regard have been really helpful, because putting yourself under a time limit helps you to just write and not to think too hard about what you're writing. And some of my best writing has come out of writing sprints. I started doing sprints quite seriously during NaNoWriMo, and it's something that I plan to institute just by myself as well in the coming years, to just sit down and just write and just let your creativity flow, which I find very difficult to do, because, as I said previously, because I'm just editing myself all the time. But yeah, writing sprints, really, really helpful if you want to just shut up your inner editor. The third point that I have is that it's okay to go through slumps. If you've watched my NaNoWriMo review video, you'll know that emotionally I wasn't in the greatest place at the end of NaNoWriMo, and I feel like it's okay to go through slumps. There's been days where I haven't written anything, there's been weeks when I haven't written anything, so it's okay to go through those times. What matters is that you pick yourself up afterwards, and that you just keep going, because else you'll never reach where you're going if you don't pick yourself up. So it's okay to have off days, just pick yourself up afterwards and keep going. Which again goes on to my next point, which is just to keep going. It might be really crappy writing, and it might be something that you're not happy with, but practice makes perfect, and you just need to keep going. Sometimes I know for us writers it's difficult to see the light at the end of the tunnel, or just difficult to see like the finish line, but you just need to keep going, keep doing a little bit every single day. I have a friend who, she gets up like really, really early in the morning, and she just does 1 hour every single morning, and it might not feel like a lot, but every little bit you do counts, and every little bit brings you a tiny step closer to your goal. So just keep going. This next one is something that is a bit more personal to me, and I mentioned it in my NaNoWriMo review video, is that I'm far more capable than I think I am. I won't reiterate the word counts and everything that I presented in that video, but I think this applies to everybody. I think if you let yourself, you can achieve so much more than you think you can. The key, or one of the keys really, is to actually just quiet your inner mean person. Like don't be mean to yourself, and kind of rather form a victory mindset rather than a defeatist mindset, because if you talk positively to yourself, your actions become positive, and you can just reach heights that you've never reached before. This is my second to last one, and I think that it's something that writers, we do a lot, and this has got to do with editing as well, and that is I've said before that I like to read over what I've written, like the following day. But sometimes it's better not to read what you've written because, okay, either one of two things can happen. First, that you get stuck in editing mode, which happens to me far more often than I care to admit. Sometimes I can spend 2 hours before my writing session, busy just like correcting spelling and capitalization and stuff like that. Or the second thing that can happen is that you just get so down on yourself and you read your writing and you think it's so crappy that all the fight goes out of you and you just don't want to write for your next session. I think I'm safe in saying that it's very rare that a writer will reread over their stuff and go, damn, this is really, really good, and like get all reared up to keep going. Because that's what editing is for. Editing is to make your okay writing really, really good. So yeah, sometimes it's better, especially if you feel that you're in a bit of an emotionally vulnerable place with your work. I feel like it's better to just not read what you've just written unless you absolutely have to, because sometimes it's better just to keep moving forward and not look back. And then you put your stuff away for a little while and then you can go back and edit or set a whole day aside for editing so you don't kind of lose your steam. The last thing is a kind of practical thing, and that is to update your outline as you go, because this is something that I didn't do. I thought I was going to do it, I thought I would remember to do it, but I haven't been doing it. I didn't do it during NaNoWriMo and the subsequent writing that I did after NaNoWriMo, and I'm paying for it now because I feel a little bit lost in my story. I feel like my outline doesn't match my draft. So I'm doing what I'm calling a post-draft summary or post-draft outline, where I'm going to I've already started literally going through and summarizing my plot points and like doing it all over again, which is frustrating, but I feel like it'll give me a better understanding of my story as well. And even if you do update your outline as you go, I think it always is helpful if you go back through, when you finish something, and just to kind of refresh your memory on a few of the finer points. So that's all that I have for you guys today. I'm trying to keep things a little bit shorter these days because of upload restrictions. My internet is not great, so anything over 10 minutes takes like 3 hours to upload, so I'm trying to keep it short. But thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I hope to see you back here next week, where we're going to be doing a work in progress diaries, which I'm excited about. It's going to be fun to share with you guys the kind of progress that I've made over this last month. As I mentioned last year, it's something that I'm going to be trying to do once a month, but we'll see how it goes, and have a lovely day. Bye!